Γεια σας και καλώς ήλθατε στο euronews. Η Τουρκία στις κάλπες, προεδρικές εκλογές, δεύτερος γύρος. Θα γίνει Ερντογάν ή Κιλιτσντάρογλου. Ποιος θα κόψει πρώτο στο νήμα. Θα συνομιλήσουμε με την Ειλέμ Γιαναρντάνογλου. Είναι αναπληρώτρια καθηγήτρια και πρόεδρος του Τμήματος Νέων Μέσων Επικοινωνίας του Πανεπιστημίου Kadir Has στην Κωνσταντινούπολη. Είναι επιστημονικός συνεργάτης του Ειλέμ και διδάσκει στο μεταπτυχιακό πρόγραμμα Μέσα Μαζικής Ενημέρωσης και Προσφυγικές Μεταναστευτικές Ροές του Καποδιστριακού Πανεπιστημίου Αθηνών. Mrs. Γιαναρντάνογλου, thank you for joining us. Were you surprised by the result of the first round of the presidential election?
I was actually surprised because I was probably like most of the other voters expecting a change in this election, that the change would be imminent, and it was coming after so many years. So it was a surprise by looking at the campaign that the opposition was conducting over the few weeks, and I must say I'm one of those voters myself.
Do you think Erdogan has secured this victory?
Erdogan seems to be securing victory for the runoff elections. We have seen yesterday some results that was presented by the polling companies. But I must say that, you know, these polls have proved wrong for the first round of elections. So we still have to maybe take it with a pinch of salt, as they say. But the gap between them are still there, between the two candidates, Erdogan and Kılıçdaroğlu.
There is a discussion in Greece about the polls and about their credibility. Do you feel the same way? Do you have the same issue in Turkey?
The polls actually, or the findings of the polls have been a source of debate in Turkey as well, because only yesterday one of the companies, Konda, announced to its subscribers that, you know, the standard deviation that they were expecting usually in these kind of polls were higher than their usual findings and usual expectations. And they said they're going to look in more detail, in more depth to these results and why this has been the case. So the polling findings of the polls have not actually provided the correct results or the sort of results that would, you know, the readers would expect after seeing them.
Now, we are all trying to understand why has the Turkish opposition failed, at least so far, to challenge Tayyip Erdogan's rule after so many years in power, I mean.
Well, Erdogan actually, yeah, like you say, has been in power for more than 20 years. But the Kılıçdaroğlu, the leader of the Republican Party, who is an economist and a former member of parliament, has become a joint candidate for a six-party coalition. And these six parties are comprised of different political backgrounds, different political tendencies. Two of the leaders there have been previously part of AKP, Erdogan's party. So this was a difficult coalition to actually gather together, and they were united around certain issues such as, you know, the economic policies and how to undo higher inflation, etc. But the analysts that we read after, you know, the first round of elections noted that this coalition parties actually failed to explain to voters how they will do these changes, how they deliver these changes. So they were criticized for that.
There is a vision, but they haven't explained how do you intend to change the economy and the society. Am I right?
This was one of the criticisms, that they failed to explain that there was too complex, maybe too many messages going on, and not one or two straight, very clear messages that they could deliver to the voters.
Many of us expected that the poor state of the economy and the destructive earthquake would cost the Turkish president. Apparently, our assessment was wrong. Was this a surprise for you?
Actually, given the state of the economy and the devastating effect of the earthquake, it was a surprise in the sense that, people were expecting some differences in voting behavior, but that was not the case. So Erdogan managed to secure support from the earthquake region, except for one or two cities. But again, when we look at the political scientist analysis, usually in times of national disasters or national crisis as big as this one, the people tend to rally around the leader. They believe that the existing political power will deliver the results and will fix the situation. So we could also read this as a sort of lack of belief in the abilities or in the capabilities of the opposition to fix the situation. Yes.
What is the next day for the Turkish economy and the daily life of the people? What do you expect and what are you afraid of?
When I watched the news in Turkey yesterday, I was actually not hearing very nice things, I must say. The dollar this morning, as of this morning, has been trading at the highest as it has been in the recent months. And this is an onward trend that we see. So the lira keeps losing its value against euro and the US dollar. So this is one problem. Another major difficulty that I was observing in the last week is that, the foreign currency reserves of the national bank is very, very low. So the technocrats are actually indicating that this could be a bigger crisis. This could pose a bigger problem that we might expect. And there are talks about capital controls.
Exactly. IMF, capital controls, yes.
Yes, the people are not able to actually withdraw cash from their credit cards. And some analysts are saying that they may not be able to withdraw their savings in foreign currency any longer. And the inflation is expected to grow even higher than the current state. So things are looking very grim in terms of the economy, and all the analysts, the economic analysts, seem to agree that this is the biggest threat Erdogan will be facing, or whoever wins the runoff elections will be facing right after the elections.
And final question on the Greek-Turkish relations. Do you think that after the elections, the two countries can open a new chapter? Do you think there is we can open a way to dialogue?
Actually, I must say that, when I first arrived in Athens 6 months ago, Greek-Turkish relations were more tense. It was over the months, especially after the earthquake, that we see the two countries in a more cooperative mood, that they are supporting each other, especially the support that Turkey has received from the Greek public, not just the donations, not just from the government, but the public actually.
But the thing is that we need a major destruction in order to understand. We need a devastating earthquake in order to understand each other, and this is such a pity, really.
Yes, it's a pity. It's a pity, but it was maybe it was the sort of momentum that was needed to restart or re-kick the relations that was stalled or stagnating for a while. So it was a good start, and it was actually very powerful to show the public that the public opinion wants cooperation and friendship. So I think it was good in the sense that this cooperation has started, and I'm actually hoping that this will continue on a societal level. But I was also hearing some comments. I was trying to follow the public opinion here as well in Greece, and I was hearing some comments that there is maybe a conception that if the Kemalist party wins, if Kılıçdaroğlu wins the elections, that this will have a negative impact on Greek-Turkish relations. The Kemalist party will sort of historically, I think this is a historical perception that, you know, it will put things into a difficulty. I don't share this kind of view, actually, because I believe that, you know, when Turkey has a better functioning, more pluralistic democracy, more let's say, more room for exercise of basic rights and liberties, and more room for open debate. I think with any political structure, that, you know, this sort of cooperation between the two countries should continue.
So you are optimistic. I keep that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Ευχαριστούμε και εσάς που μας παρακολουθήσατε. Μείνετε συντονισμένοι στο euronews.